one of these in quite a while, have we, Bob?
No.
And we sure haven't done anything from the old kitchen table here. So we figured that we would go ahead and try this. Now I am on the actual YouTube app here, usually when we're doing field work or something. I use a different app, and when it streams the video later on, it actually puts out it puts out a higher quality video here. So I'm going to go ahead and see if this is actually on YouTube. I don't see anything here. I guess it is. We are right there. So I know it's been, I guess it was sometime in January I tried doing a live stream while we were driving down the road, and that didn't work all that great. So we've got some Coors Light that we're going to be drinking here tonight while we're talking to all of you on the old live stream here. And of course I can see the comments rolling across, and I want to thank everybody for wishing me a happy birthday today, throughout today's video and through the Facebook messages and whatever, and of course on the live stream here. So Andrew's the only one that wanted to participate with me here during the live stream. Sarah, she went out tonight along with Alex, and Charlotte's upstairs. She wants to stay as far away from something like this as she can. And then of course my wife, she
already got a super chat.
Well, she don't want to be in on the live stream either. So I want to thank Luke Smith. He put in a super chat. That was very nice of you. So I spent the day today, I had a small meeting here this afternoon with one of our ag consultants. And then I had to order a bunch of parts for the project that we're working on. And I spent a good 4 or 5 hours doing that. We've got to build the tailgate yet on the silage box. Sarah and Alex ended up going around it with a couple of flap wheel grinders today, just kind of clean up some sharp burrs and spatters and whatever that were left on the body. So we've got about a day and a half's worth of work left on it, and then we'll be on to the next project as far as the next step of the job. My uncle wanted to put a plastic liner in this box. The last box I built for him, we put the liner in, but he has another guy that specializes in liners, and he's going to come and put that liner in on Monday. So I want to thank Oliver880 for the $100 super chat. I think you're going to have a tough time having anybody beat you there, Oliver880. That's very much appreciated there. So, we'll try to get some video of Ernie putting the liner in here Monday, and then I've got another freaking meeting that I've got to attend here Tuesday, so I hope they get there Monday to put that liner in and we can get some video of it. We've got to put the flatbed back together, or we've got to add on to the back of it, and then we've got another big project. You want to tell everybody what we have going on after we get John's truck done?
Our body, right?
Well, no, we actually got corn planter to do.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
We got a big project coming up on the corn planter. So those parts came. Well, the rest of the order came here yesterday, and Jared went and got a bunch of it here. What is today? What is today? Wednesday? Monday night. So we've got that project coming up here in the next couple of weeks. It's something that we ordered back it would have been like July, and the parts were supposed to be here in like November or December, and then John Deere had that strike, and it didn't look like we were going to actually be getting them parts, and It's getting a little late here, but we'll have to get after it, right? Boy, that tastes good. So, other than that, that's about all we've been involved in. So, what do you think of welding?
It's alright, but
It's all right, but what?
I don't know. I haven't done the good welding.
You haven't done the good welding. You've been doing all the stuff on your knees, right?
Yeah.
The bottom side of the floor, top side of the floor. But the better projects will be coming along here soon. So, did you make it to the farm show? Yes, we went to the farm show here in Syracuse on Friday. We went the second day of the show. So that show was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And me and Andrew ended up going with my second cousin on Friday. So we're running both the 6 and the 12 row this year. Well, we have the 6 row and we have a 16 row. So yes, we're gonna run both of them. We bought an upgrade kit for the planter we have, and it's basically gonna have all new components from the toolbar back, along with hydraulic downforce, electric meters, the whole 9 yards. We were kind of on the fence whether or not to order a new corn planter last year, and they actually sold out of corn planters here like in 4 days last year. So we ended up upgrading ours to new components. So how much is diesel up there? The last I seen diesel, the price of diesel was over $4 at the gas station. And it's going to go even higher before we get through this debacle that we're in. But welding is an awesome career. Pulling 6 figures. Yeah, a lot of guys are making a lot of money. Now, Garthland, are you, you work for Hainsworth, right? If I remember right. Michael Dennis, he's one of our ag consultants. Glad you stepped in to say hello. Yeah, we should be seeing you on Friday, Mike. So Mike Dennis, he's one of our ag consultants, does a lot of our agronomy work. And we met him out at the farm show, or didn't meet him at the farm show, but he went to the farm show in Louisville, and we chatted with him and his wife and his 2 kids there for a while. And yeah. So let's see, diesel $4.99 in Missouri. It's probably up to $5 here now too. Like I said, I haven't paid attention to it in a little while here. How much does hay cost? I'm not privy on the prices of hay right here locally. Buffalo was $5.30. Ouch. Let's see, Eric paid $5 for farm oil. Yeah. $5.19 in Newark Valley. Yeah, see, so I'm a little behind the times. Nice. Garthland, yeah, so you work at Hainsworth. So Garthland works for Hainsworth Farms. That's who we bought the Moss trailer from, and that's who my brother bought his manure tanker from. They are just west of us, about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And he actually was just here yesterday dropping, or one of the guys was here yesterday dropping off some parts. Coors Light, hoping it remains the same price. I'm afraid everything is going to be going up here shortly. Yeah, war hurts us all, especially once we shut off the spigot from Russia. So let's see. Let's see. The CFL Saskatchewan works at a cow farm in Canada. No kidding. $8.20 a gallon in Ontario. Oh man. $5.39 in Cannon, New York. I'm not sure where that is. Where is Cannon, New York? I don't know if that was a typo or what. The milk price is actually pretty good. It's it's just hovering around 20 and a half, 23-ish or so, somewhere around there. So after the prices of commodities get up there in price for a while, milk kind of follows it. But as soon as the prices of the commodities drop off, the price of milk will dip hard too. So it's going to be short-lived, I would have to say. But the cost of everything else is way up. So have I checked the price of fertilizer? I've been watching the price of fertilizer all year here. So, oh boy, $200 to fill up an F-350. Is our milk hauler charging more? They're hitting us for a fuel surcharge. So, did I figure out where the Welding tray came from yet? It came from Miner. Is that the name of it? I gotta look it up. A couple of you had dropped a comment on that last video and said that you seen him at I gotta find it here. Melius, MELIUS Manufacturing, and if I remember right, they're in South Dakota somewhere. So I ended up sending them an email saying, you know, if you have these in stock, send along the information. I mean, I looked them up online. I've got their address and everything, but I just wanted to make sure that they had product in stock because I didn't want them guys to get flooded with orders for something that they didn't have. Judging by what they've got going on Facebook, it looks as though they have built a new shop or something. They build benches and stuff like that. And the name was not on the actual welder, the welding caddy, anywhere. And I'm not so sure now if somebody maybe just didn't steal the idea and made a bunch of them and took them to the show. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten an email back from them yet here, so we'll have to wait till we get that email back. But it's what did I say it was? Melius, MELIUS Manufacturing. So you guys can look them up online or check them out on Facebook or something and see if they have anything put together to be able to order it. So, are your daughters ever in a good mood? Yeah, they're always in a good mood. They're usually having a lot of fun here. So do we do any combining? Yeah, that's we do a fair amount of combining. Adam Poirier, $20. Thanks, bud. Some land up here just sold for $27.5 an acre. Is that right? That's a lot of moolah per acre. There's another question here. Yeah, I'm halfway to 100. Oh boy. Hayden Taylor, you're not late. You're just getting here just in time. Let's see, Daryl. Daryl says there's the welder. Oh boy. All the kids are good people, good workers. Yeah. A lot of tightwads in here tonight, Oliver 880 says. I think you're gonna have a hard time having anybody keep up to your $100 super chat there. Any new equipment coming this year? Not.
Merger.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna buy a merger or not. We were thinking about buying a new one, but
Well,
I was thinking about getting a new Oxbow merger, and them mergers are over 200,000, and it was gonna cost us about 130 to trade. So we
it's over 200,000 pieces of hay to merge.
yeah, that's right. We're getting closer to 100,000 subs. Yeah. Ivan loves the channel. Glad you do. What am I gonna do for 100,000 subscriber special? I haven't really come up with anything neat to do for
Equipment?
the 100. Yeah, we should do another equipment tour. At this point, it'd be a junk tour, wouldn't it? Oh boy. Alex and Sarah don't like the yeah, they get a little shy around the camera, but there's a lot of horseplay off camera. I can tell you that for one thing. That Alex and Jared and Sarah having a good old time most of the time. You gotta trade that chopper in for a new model. I don't plan on trading out of choppers anytime soon. We're putting a bunch of money into ours right now. Jake, he talked me into replacing the feed rolls again on it, so we ended up putting another 20 some thousand into it here this winter. Had a couple of oil leaks that that needed taking care of. The oil cooler for one was leaking, and that wasn't leaking oil though. That was leaking coolant, and the rear axle had some leaks in it as well. David White, thank you for the super chat.
Somebody wants us to blow something up. We do have something.
Yeah, really?
Fire truck.
Fire truck? Yeah, we could do that. That's down on the shooting range. You know, Jeff Miller, I used to have a snowmobile, but I don't have one anymore. My nephews ended up buying a couple of them this year. My brother bought one. Actually, he bought two, and my nephews each bought one. So they've got 4 snowmobiles all together down there. And they had a decent year. So Daniel wants to know what the fire truck is. The fire truck is it's a F-250 that we bought from the area fire department, and the engine went on it. That frickin' had a junk. What the heck is that? Was it 5 point? What is it? 5.4 in that, or?
I think it's 5.4.
Yeah, that thing was junk.
Yes.
So, let's see. How much land does land go for? It varies. Anywhere from $4,000 to $12,000 an acre. Depends on where you're at. Somebody just had a question about Jake. Jake is now the service manager at Kaz Equipment. So I talked to him as much as I talked to him before. I just don't see him that much. Jared seen him the other day, and I talked to him 3-4 times a week anyway. The 7720, they're working on that now. We had some issues here early on in the winter. It was probably after the first of the year. It wouldn't make any heat in the cab, and it was low on coolant. We'd put coolant in it, it'd push it out the overflow reservoir. We thought we had a crack in the overflow reservoir, and we later found out that it was building just a little bit of pressure in the head. Engine was wore out, over 22,000 hours on it, and they're putting a reman engine in it. As much as we didn't want to put a reman in it, we wanted to either rebuild it ourselves or have Doc do it. It boiled down to time. So they're working on that now, and as far as they're just about done, I think. And let's see, I found the Melius website and the Facebook site, Salty 101. Yeah, so anybody that, if you think of it, go on over and hit the thumbs up here for this live stream, and it'll help the algorithm. So, how's Charlie doing with her basketball? Well, basketball is over with now, James, but she's doing like off-season practices and whatnot like that. So she's just brushing up on her skills for next year. How many gallons do you milk per year? How many gallons? I don't know, a lot. No more Jake the Deere, the Deere doctor show. No, if we want to film him, we're gonna have to go over to his shop and film him over there. And I'm not comfortable with filming somebody else in their own facility. It's just not.
Well, we get the merger.
It's not right. So let's see. Mike Dennis, you stepping out. Take it easy. How many cows? How many cows what? We milking? Am I out of crown? Yeah, I've been out of crown for a little while, Oliver. Shout out to Andy from Fenimore, Wisconsin. Any new silage? No new silage trucks this year.
Well, got the Freightliner going, so.
My brother did buy a Moss trailer, so that's supposed to be in. I don't know if that's going to be in next month or not. Best answer is 2 gallons. The first one and the last one. There you go, James. Big Mac Trucks. Hello, guys. Yeah, how is Big Mac Trucks production? I mentioned prior, what type of stickers do you use that hold up to weather for your advertisement? I don't know what vinyl they use to make that decal out of. It's a pretty decent vinyl. It's the same. The guy that makes them for me does our truck lettering for the DOT numbers and everything, and it's whatever vinyl they use for the truck lettering. So the Moss trailer my brother bought is the opposite color scheme than what the other one is that we have. So the one that we have is black with red toppers. He bought red with black toppers. So what happened to the heavy metal videos? I've got to get back into doing them, but I'm having a hard time finding a song that doesn't have something about love in it or something about a woman or a relationship, and it's just hard to find a good song that doesn't have either one of them 3 topics in there to go along with what we're doing here. So I don't know. I'll come across something here and it'll just click, and I'll be able to maybe make a video here before we get into spring work here. So let's see. Push Olight for 100,000 special. Hey, you made them. And you know that Olight company they're pretty good. They make a really nice product, and we just think they're the greatest. Let's see. Rachel Malthorpe. Hello, thanks for the great videos. I love your commentary and the way your kids help on the farm. Well, thank you, Rachel. Appreciate the super chat there. Do a Tool song. That should meet the criteria. I know, but I've had what have I had? 3 Tool songs in a row now? It's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard to get away from Tool. I'm trying to think out of the box, and I can't. It's hard for me to get in anything else, really. But I've got a couple of, yeah, there you go, Man on the Silver Mountain. Instrumental version of a song. If I could figure out how to find a song without the vocals, or be able to remove the vocals from a song, that would be really great. But it's real hard. Now, a lot of times when I do a song, do a music video like that, I'll get questions, how are you able to do that? Well, the videos aren't monetized, and any advertising that the video makes ends up going to whoever the record label is. That's how that works out. And you can go through a whole thing and try to get permission and all that crap, but a lot of times there's multiple record labels that have rights to a song, and you might get permission to use the song from one record company but not get it from another, and it's just a pain. I just end up letting the video go on without being monetized. And then the other problem with that is YouTube doesn't push it along in their algorithm, because they're really not making any money on that video, and they don't want you guys wasting your time watching something that you're not going to see an advertiser in. So do another truck burnout for 100,000. There you go. I could get my Ram out there, my 3500. We could do a burnout with that. Just burn it till the tires fall off, right? No, we wouldn't want to misuse that. Do I like the shop more than the equipment operation? You know, that's a tough one. Yeah, that is a really good question. There's an even toss up there. I could work in the shop all day, but then when we get doing field work, I like doing that too. So, classic gas is an awesome instrumental. Huh. About your education, did you go to ag? Did I go to an ag engineering? Do I have an ag? No, I don't have anything outside of high school and outside of high school education. And I really don't have much of a high school education either. The last couple of years of high school was just a blur. I wasn't there much. Although I did get, for my senior year in high school, I got an award for perfect attendance.
Didn't you get a tractor there or something like an?
Yeah, when
like
I
an
was my
86.
8430, I drove that my
Didn't you put
sophomore year. So, Andrew Fade with a $99 super chat. Geez, I really appreciate it. Does Junior like welding? All right. So, we've got a question from James. Do you like welding with your sisters? We'll elaborate on that question. What do you like doing more, welding or operating equipment? And we'll load this question a little differently. What equipment that you do run do you like running the best?
I have to say it's between raking and dump wagon.
Raking and dump wagon and running dump wagon?
Don't run dump wagon much.
Yeah.
I don't get to run it much. So probably between raking and probably merging or spreading. I don't know.
Huh. So somebody wants to know if that perfect attendance involved a girl. You know, I was dating my wife throughout high school, and she went to a different school. So I couldn't date any girls that I went to school with because they knew me too well. So I had to go outside the school district. I had to go outside the school district to find a woman. All the guys together and drag race their pickups up the corner. Yeah, I've already done 1,000 videos though. I think I have a tally for over 1,000. So, Jake's watching from this lovely country. Maybe not that lovely anymore. Joe Santorini, always with you, always with me. Great instrumental. Yeah, I've gotta start listening to some different music other than the genre that I listen to, because I fall into the same songs all the time, and it might not necessarily be what you guys like to listen to. So I need to try something a little different as far as a music video goes. Do all your kids and nephews on the farm? For the most part, my brother David has 3 kids, Madison, Colton, and Davy. And they work on the farm. My brother Richard has 2 younger kids, Teddy and Taylor. Taylor is Andrew's age. And Teddy helps out on the farm. He cuts hay and works in the barns, and Taylor helps a little bit too. And then my sister's oldest son, he helps out on the farm on weekends, but he works full time for his brother or his father running a plumbing business, DRC Sales. So this one guy says I'm a great father. You probably don't agree to that with that, though, do you? Good evening. Queens of the Stone Age. Plain Iron says, I should be writing these down. Diesel's almost $6 in Pennsylvania. Is that right? Do I still smoke cigars? No. And I never did. No, I'm not smoking. I'm not currently smoking, no. And when I did smoke, I never inhaled, so... Plumber Dave, there you go. Welcome to the 50 Club. You know what? I did, for those of you that don't know, I turned 50 years old today. I still feel like I'm 25 though. So, yeah. So I've got some knees ache once in a while, but they did that when I was younger. So, yeah, I think we missed Big Trump. It's a wonderful night tonight. It is, Cameron. It is indeed. So everybody's throwing out the old happy birthday. Thanks. Let's see. James Watson. James Watson is 40. I remember 40 like it was yesterday. Believe it or not. I don't look a day over 30. You know, if I had a little more hair up on top, I could probably pass for being a little younger. But this receding hairline and the lack thereof is a pretty good indication that, you know, I'm a little older than that. But, you know, like I said, I feel like I'm 25. The only difference between when I was 25 and when I'm 50 now, the girls just look at you different. That's all. Andy Hale, where the hell? 60-30 needs some camera time. So the 60-30, we put a lot of freaking money into that this winter. It had brakes that were bad on it, and we ended up sending it over to Kaz. They did the brakes on it, then they went to put it on the dyno, and the clutch, the PTO clutch slipped. So they had to bring it back in. They were able to just pick the cab up a little bit to get the axles out of it so that they could put the brakes in it. And in order to do the clutch, they had to pull the frickin' cab off and split it, and I guess that was just a mongrel. Jake said that he is glad that he was not around during that era of those Hinson cabs. So we put a lot of freaking money into that 60-30 here this winter. You got a set of brakes, the PTO clutch was bad, they had a bad hydraulic pump, charge pump was bad, I think, and I haven't seen the bill yet for that, but we put more into it than what it's worth. But what are you gonna do? You know, it would have had to have gone for scrap metal if we didn't fix it. But we should have sold it about 6 months before the brakes went on it, and then it could have been somebody else's problem. But it's gonna be a nice manure pump tractor and whatever. They ended up getting it on the dyno, and what did it turn for horsepower? Was it 212 or 221?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the
No.
tractor.
They got it made like either 212 horsepower or 221 horse on the dyno, and that tractor's 176, I think, from the factory.
But it is.
And the injection pump said 181 on it. So let's see. Mike Jankoviak wants to know how many tractors we have. You know, yeah, I'm embarrassed to say. You got to get counting.
Sure.
I think we have 22. I think. Who plays the piano? Well, that piano came from my wife's grandmother or something. So nobody plays the piano. How many kids do I have? I have 5 kids. Andrew here, he's the youngest. And that right here, that's my youngest daughter, Charlotte. You don't see her much at all. And then you guys see Jared's my oldest, Alex, Jared's my oldest son, Alex, my oldest daughter. Then you got Sarah in the middle, Charlotte, and then Andrew. So 5 kids all together. Am I gonna cut? Let's go Brandon in the cornfield. You know what? I think by the time we harvest corn, he's not even gonna be around. It's not even worth planting. Let's go Brandon in a cornfield, because it's gonna be old news, I hope, by the time we harvest the corn. Need another tractor video of all of them. Once we get them all back here, we'll have to do that. Uh, Pat Longo, him and Mike and Rocco own P&M Diesel, and the 24250s are up there. Now getting a couple of engines replaced into them, and hopefully we get them back here soon. We're gonna use we're gonna use the 7730 on the 6-row planter this year. We're actually gonna move the wheels in on it here in the next few days. I'm going to see you in shorts this summer. I don't think so. I have no reason really to wear shorts. I know a lot of guys, once it gets 95 degrees out, they're whipping the shorts out and everything else, and I just can't get into them. So, how much money do I have in the silage box? A lot, right, Bob? A lot. I probably bought. Oh boy, I'd have to add it up. There's probably close to $50,000 in steel that I've bought here this winter. So it's been expensive. Yeah. So you guys want to see Mrs. Farming, Fixing, and Fabricating for $100,000. If she wasn't so stinking shy of the camera, I'd say, yeah, we're gonna have to get her on camera. But she wants nothing to do with the camera. So what year did the 6030 come out? So we'll give you a little history on the 6030. The new generation of tractors, which is like the era of the 4020, they ended in 72. So the 4020, 4620, 4320, 5020, 3020, 2520, and so on, they ended in 72. The Iron Horses came out in 73. They were built from 73 to 77. The 6030 was still in the new generation of power, but yet they kind of crossed them over from 72 when they started making the 6030. It kind of picked up where the 5020 left off, and that crossed over into the 30 series. The trouble with the 6030 was it was too big of a tractor and it had too much power during that era, and they didn't sell a lot of them. I think they only made like 3,500 of them altogether. I could be wrong, but if I'm trying to go off of memory, I think they only made like 3,500 of them, and they never made them in four-wheel drive. And being that they had that Hinson cab on there, or you could get them without a cab, that cab wasn't as popular as the Soundguard body that came out on the 30 series. So you had stiff competition with the 4630, which was like 20, maybe 25 horsepower less than the 6030, and it competed quite well with the 4630 competed quite well with the 6030 because a lot of guys really didn't need the horsepower that the 6030 gave them. Plus, the 6030 was only two-wheel drive. I don't know what their thinking was back then, but the 6030 was ahead of its time and behind its time at the same time, if you know what I mean. Who did all those paintings on the wall?
That's
Alex did that one, the milk one. I got to point in the right direction here. Those other ones are bought. The rooster one Alex did. Yeah, so I got to get back to how many generations old is our farm? Well, Andrew would be the fourth generation. My grandfather
I think I'm 6.
bought this farm in 1950, and he actually lived in the house that we are currently living in right now. So, any more Kubota skid steers? No, unfortunately, they're a nice machine. They're well laid out and everything, but we have not had we've not had good luck with them. I'm sorry to say that. My favorite John Deere transmissions: synchro range or power shift. I don't mind synchro range really. The trouble with the power shifts back then is there was too much of a jump between the gears. You had the 8-speed power shift. Fourth gear went 5 miles an hour. Fifth gear went 7. Sixth gear went 9. Seventh gear went 12. And then eighth gear, that was quite a jump. That went 20 miles an hour. And the power shift was handy during that era, and it was probably handier and better than synchro transmission as far as ease and whatever like that. But like cutting hay and whatever, if you come up to the headland power shift, you could just bump the shifter. But then at the same time, if you're doing field work where it only requires you to stay in one gear, the synchro range is fine as well. So there's a happy medium between both transmissions. How are you liking the Ford crew cab? Some good tunes using Elman Brothers. Happy birthday. Thanks, Dan. The Ford Super Cab, that the white truck that we have for the farm, that's a decent truck. If you had to get a new feed mixer, what would it be, and would I try anything? You know what? We don't have any problems with the Supremes. That's all we know. That's all we've ever had, and I don't see getting anything any different. What kind of soil do we use? What kind of soil? We've got anything from sandy loam to clay. So, happy birthday, says Bill. Thank you. Have you ever used a Mahindra tractor? I've not ever used a Mahindra tractor, but we do have a Mahindra Roxor. That's pretty decent. Let's see. Somebody wheelied a hydrostat John Deere at their dealership. That must have been a newer one. Andy is a closet Ford guy. Yeah, come on now. I've had Fords. I wish they were a good truck. I'd have another one, but they're just, they're not my taste. When do I sleep? I sleep every night. Do we farm any timber? We actually have probably got some hardwoods that we could be getting somebody in here to cut now. It's been a few. It's probably been a decade or better since we've had any logging done. We probably should start thinking about it. What makes you run Supreme pull type mixers over a self-pelled? We've just never run a truck mixer. Don't have any problem against a truck mixer, but you buy a mixer a truck mounted mixer. You're gonna want to put that mixer on a brand new chassis. A brand new truck chassis compared to a tractor chassis is going to be, it's going to be less money. A comparable tractor is going to be about $250,000, and a truck to put a mixer on, just the cab and chassis of the truck, is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of say $180,000. So then you put the mixer on it. The mixer's 100. So let's say, just use round numbers, 120,000. So you're $300,000 into the mixer. The mixer is going to last you 10 years. You're going to put liners in at between 4 and 5, and you're going to get that mixer to go 10 years. Then you're going to have to pull that mixer off, put another one on. You're going to have a hard time getting 20 years out of that truck chassis. We don't put a brand new tractor on our mixer wagon. We will use a tractor that we've had for a while, and we kind of double purpose the tractor that way and use the tractor on the front end when it's new for planting corn, for example. And then we can slide it over into the mixer wagon and so on. So you have quite a bit more money involved in a truck mixer, but they do make sense at the same time. It's you can look at it both ways and have a decent argument each way. As far as the power units itself, we very rarely have a problem. You know, a guy will tell you, oh, if you have a problem with a tractor, you just pull it off, put another one on. We very rarely ever have that problem. Unless a guy's runs into one of his tractors with a payload or something, you know.
But the worst part about the truck mixer is truck breaks down, you're screwed.
Yeah. So you got to kind of fix it as you go, but you know, you can make it work. The 7720 is not back yet. What truck is the best one to learn a CDL on? Probably anything that's got like an 8LL transmission, I would have to say. What would your next Lagoon pump be? Jamesway or Noon? Hands down, Noon. Go with a Noon pump, and they are just great. I haven't videoed ours much because I haven't really been around it, but it works really well. Burns Farms, thank you for the $5 super chat. Let's see. John wants to know if my girls are going to go to college. Alex went to college, and Sarah is not going to go to college. Actually, they're both attending Horgan Tech, right? Let's see. Robert Griffith, thank you. He says happy birthday. Which one of the kids is going to carry on the farm? I hope they all do. Ever demo a triple mixer? No, I've never demoed a triple screw mixer. A Supreme. What do they have that triple screw on? A 1700? Is that right? How many children do I have? I got 5. Yep, Trump was right. No one wanted to listen to him. You're absolutely right there. We've got John Hatt. Ever fish anybody out of the poo pond? No, you know, all kidding aside, it is something I worry about as far as, you know, all of us can trip, fall, and, you know, that's, yeah, we've never had to do that. Do my brothers work on equipment and have shops? My brothers work on what they need to. They do all of the repairs in the barn. You know, there'd be milk pumps, compressors, you name it. They're working on that stuff. If a skid steer breaks down or something, they'll work on it. But if I am kind of free, it's my responsibility. So we work things that way. Row Services, happy birthday. Let's see. Oh man, all 5 children are hard workers. Why not a dry hell pit pump, the 10-inch max, move some manure? Haven't had any experience with the dry, well, I shouldn't say haven't had any experience with the dry hell. The frac tank we have, that has a dry hell pump on it. That's a good pump. That we've gotten a lot of life out of that. Just the is the 9560 going to get a blade on it? No, it's not. Not yet, anyways. Hey man, we got Doug in the house. Yeah, the dry hell's got some good stuff, but the Noon stuff is superior to it. How many siblings do I have? I have 2 brothers that we're partners on the farm here, and I have 2 sisters too. I'm the oldest of 5 kids, so I have my 2 brothers are the youngest 2 in the family, and then my sisters, there goes me, Bridget, Katie, David, and Richard. Let's see. Martin, yeah, you're welcome for, yes. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up on some of the comments so I can keep kind of a lingo going here. You load 10 5-gallon tankers in about 2 minutes. No kidding. So your tankers hold 10,500. Where are you at? You must be in Michigan or something. That must be running a lot of axles or something. Yeah, that must be like a 12-inch pump. If we had a 12-inch pump, we could load that fast with a noon, but we've got just an 8. I figured that if we had too large of a pump, if one of my guys spilled manure, they'd be just spilling a lot more. How did the farm that you ever turn out? That turned out pretty good. We had a guy put some siding on the back barn. Back of one of the barns. Let's see. Did your grandfather come over? No, my grandfather didn't come over from Ireland. If I remember the family history correctly, my great great grandfather, I believe, was the one that came over from Ireland. So Jim Connor wants to know if we have ever run any red power. A long time ago, my grandfather, when he went from horses, he went to Farmall tractors. He thought they were the greatest thing since a horse. And then you know what he did? He bought a John Deere. And he said the John Deere was far superior to the red tractor. I'm kidding. You get your panties in a bunch here. No, but all kidding aside, my grandfather did have some Farmalls back in the day. And there was a neighbor here that sold out back probably 20 or 22 years ago, and they had a International 966 with a loader on it. It was in real nice shape. We bought that at the auction, and we couldn't keep it together. It had that goofy TA on there, and it was just a mongrel to run. And it just seemed like anytime you were running the International tractor, you had to be an acrobat. You had to throttle way up here, so you had to, run the throttle, and then you had to shift, and then to turn the PTO on, you had to get up out of your seat, turn the PTO on, and then I forget where the hydraulic levers were. I think they were underneath the seat, maybe on the left-hand side, so you had to run the hydraulic levers like this. And when a guy was doing field work with an International tractor, by golly gee, it really looked like he was going right to town and getting something done. He wiggling all over on the tractor. And if you watched the guy run the John Deere, you're like, that guy ain't doing nothing. He's just sitting still. Is the guy even alive? Oh, it's gonna get everybody's panties in a bunch, ain't it, Bob?
Case did have some. They actually put Cummins engines.
Yeah.
In some of their tractors.
Let's see. Somebody wanted to know what kind of tractor would we have if we didn't have John Deere? That's a good question. We probably would have had, Internationals. We probably would have maybe had Ford. Who knows? There was quite a few Massey Fergusons around this area, I think, back in the 70s. I think they all had their chance for their popularity, if you will. Now, I talked to Mike West from Farmhand Mike on YouTube. I seen him at the Louisville Farm Show. I talked to him for a good deal. And we're going to have versatile tractors in our area here sometime midsummer. The area dealership, Empire Tractor here, they have a location here in Casanova, and I don't know if they're going to be able to sell them there or if it's just select Empire Tractor dealerships, but Versatile is now going to be in the central New York area, so it would be nice to maybe try out one of them. We haven't run anything else for tractors here. We haven't. I remember my father tried out an old Case tractor. It was one of the white colored ones, articulator. I don't know what horsepower range
wait,
that was.
I think I've seen those before. It's like it's gotta be like around the 87,
Yeah.
70 or 87, 60. It's right around there.
Yeah. Oh, somebody want to know if we're going to buy a different corn planter or a combine this year. I'd like to do something with a combine, but the way this fertilizer is going to cost, fertilizer and fuel is going to keep our pocketbook tight this year. So we're just going to run with it. As far as the corn planter goes, we did buy a bunch of a large update kit to put into the corn planter. So we'll be in good shape there. Have you ever been afraid of being in the silo? No, never. Well, I shouldn't say I've never been afraid of being in the silo. Years ago, 2 silos, they ain't here anymore. We had old cement silos that we had high moisture corn in. And you had to put the doors in as you filled the silo. So we put 2 doors in at a time. And I can remember being up top of the silo. The silo was full, and I was leveling the silo off while the last little bit of corn was going in. And I could swear that freaking silo was rocking back and forth. I don't know if it was or not. Nothing ever happened to it, but that was a little sketchy. I don't know really what was going on, but can I at least get an 8-row head for the combine? We could put an 8-row rigid chain head on our combine, or regular 8-row head. We couldn't put a fold-up head on our combine. It won't handle a fold-up one just because it would be too heavy for the combine itself. Our milk goes to Burn Dairy. It was the gas getting to you. Well, it was high moisture corn. It was fresh. I don't think there was any gases. It seemed like it was rocking. Maybe it was something to do with that, but not a good feeling at all.
Maybe you were rocking.
Yeah. Extra work. What is going on with Jared's Freightliner? Well, that's another good question. He tore the rear end out of it. Go figure. He did that back, boy, it had to be all of a year ago. Had to be, because it's been parked for quite a while. And at the same time, the thermostat housing, he went to change the thermostats and he cracked, I want to say it was the thermostat housing that he cracked, or the top cast piece or something. I forget which. He had 2 things go on at once. He more or less parked it. Well, he's got that fixed. He's got the engine fixed in it now. But I want to say it's the power divider. He's got a problem with a power divider, and he just doesn't want to put $4 or $5 grand into it. But that's all that's really wrong with it. Yeah, maybe that's what it was doing, Big T. The corn could have been settling, and when it was settling, it was vibrating the silo. That's probably just what it was too. Jared B, we're doing pretty good. How many milking parlors do we have? We have 1 milking parlor. It's a double 20, and I don't foresee us getting tracks on any of our equipment. Although, tracks are good for, cutting down on compaction and everything else, but I don't think they would be handy for our area. Oliver 880's trying to bribe me here. He wants me to go get some sleep. Another $100 super chat from Oliver 880. Yeah, so I don't think the tracks would work for us. If you get on a hill or something that you're trying to hold back a lot of weight or pull a spreader or something, I think you're going to slide off a hill. They could be kind of dangerous. So do I watch Andrew Camarada? Camerata. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. I don't know. He is in New York State here, and I want to say he is down. Boy, I don't know. I don't know if he's south of me or if he's north of me, but he's quite interesting. He's quite the guy. Camarada. I think he's a great guy. Will we ever see the parlor? You know, it is a great area as far as showing any of the cows, and I'll explain to you why. And there is reasons why, and they're somewhat justified, but it's mainly because we don't want, and our milk processor doesn't want one of the animal rights groups taking a video of ours and then interjecting some kind of animal abuse or something, and then going to one of the larger stores in the area and saying, you know, one of your producers is abusing their animals. Here's a video to show you. So our milk processor says if you don't do any videoing, and this came about before I even started doing YouTube. They said don't allow anybody to video, and you won't have to worry about this stuff getting out there and these animal rights groups getting it and, you know, twisting it all up. Now, the animal rights groups, there's nothing entirely wrong, but with them, they have a decent cause, but they're mixed up a little bit. We'll just leave it at that. Let's see. One lonely farmer's in the house. How is Wesley doing tonight? No, I didn't study mechanics anywhere, David Gardner. No, I didn't study any of that stuff. Let's see here. What's Wes up to? I gotta scroll my comments for that. Lots going on. Life is an amazing thing. Hey, what have you been up to, Wes? Have you been putting lime down? Is that what you're working on? Just a few acres. No, I don't watch that. Did you find out what was wrong? Both 4250s had wore out engines on them. They both had reman engines in them at some point in time, and they were both wore out again. Let's see. Grader Guy 76. Andrew from Alberta. Grader Guy is from Alberta, Canada. Gas is going up. Well, it's going to go up a little higher. Just going through the problems that we're going through. So, they're just, Peter's a little more confused. That you're absolutely right there. Let's see. Farmer 2708 wants to know if we have any hats for sale. We do not. I had some stuff there for a while, and we just sold out of it, and it just got to be a pain in the butt to deal with the stuff and whatever. So I'd like to get hooked up with somebody. There's a couple of these outfits that will just kind of take you guys' orders and ship them out to you. The Teespring stuff is, I can't figure out how to get that stuff pulled off. I don't think that stuff is all that great, but it's okay too. But I'd like to get something better than than what it is. You studied the same way I did. Same way. There you go. Hands on. Do I have much trouble with flat skid steer tires? And yeah, when these guys run into a curb with the frickin' skid steer, it usually knocks the tire off the rim and it bends the rim. And you know what they do? They drive it right to the shop. They don't park it where they had the flat tire. They drive it. So if it's a long ways away, guess what happens? They usually ruin the tire. But how many cows do I milk? I don't milk any. No, but we're milking 1,700. So No, let's see. Gilbert's referring to Alex Kerr. He doesn't work for us anymore, and I don't think he has the pulling truck anymore. He ended up buying a Ford 7000 tractor, I think. Susan L, thank you for the super chat. We've got you coming in from Tennessee. How many head of cattle do we have? Just shy of 4,000, somewhere around there. How's the 8320? The 8320R, is that what you're referring to, Robert Schofling? How many cows do you milk? I don't know how many times you're going to answer that, Alec. I think maybe you need to... okay, all right. I don't know how you get that reply out. You just keep repeating it. Do I know the Searle family? Yes, I do. They're just down the road from us. We actually helped them combine corn a couple of years ago, if you remember, right? Actually seen Keith a week ago today. Okay, let's see. Do I have any antique tractors? Well, if you want to call a 4020 an antique, yeah, we've got 4020, which is 1970, a 4320, and a couple 4620s and a 6030 to be exact, right? They're all antiques, ain't they? 25 years or older. Yeah, Kaz Gear is one of them companies that in Farm Focus, they would do the hat and shirt and hat thing. Robotic milkers. I think the technology is pretty good as far as the robotic milkers go. There's some guys that have run them alongside their parlor operations, and they do quite well. You not sticking around any longer? No? Well, stick around for a few more minutes. You got to say goodbye to everybody before you leave. Do you like being famous around school? I don't think
Nobody knows me.
no one knows him. All right, somebody says we got to get a 4230. 4230 was a replacement for the 4020. Believe it or not, it was a even 100 horsepower, but there was a few of them that guys had great luck with, but it seemed like there was a bunch of them that just they weren't all that great. They were hard starting, and yeah, what was life like growing up? It was neat. How many hours a day does it take to milk your herd? We're milking 22 hours out of the day, roughly. We shut down for a couple hours, a few minutes at each milking to get the parlor cleaned up, and then they just start. They get done with the milking, wash the pipeline, and they just start right back in milking again, and they just are able to maintain turning everything over. You've got good luck with your 4230, Wes. We had a 4230 that we ended up trading in for a 4240 back in 1979, and I remember my father and grandfather complaining about that 4230. It started hard, and the neighbor had one. He had the same problem with his, but then another neighbor up the road, he's got one, and it's great. Still uses it. Long past receding hairline. Yeah, I need to wear a hat. I can't even do a comb over. I was shaving it for a while, but then that got old too. Family should be in there. I think my damn channel name's long enough. Just call it Triple F. How does my wife get my clothes clean? She don't wash my clothes. Believe it or not, I wash my own clothes. I have a washing machine and dryer right in the basement, and I use the washing machine as my hamper. I undress into the washing machine. When I get a full load, I turn it on. And I try to fold the laundry as I put it in the dryer because I hate living out of a wash basket, but once in a while that turns into a thing too. Which kid is my favorite? Andrew right here, he's my favorite kid. Believe it or not, he's my favorite. because he's sitting next to me right now. My favorite kids are the ones that want to have something to do with me. Usually, for the most part, they're hanging around all the time, farming, fixing, and fabricating. How much did that last truck box you built finally weigh? You know what? I forgot to weigh the damn thing. We were in a hurry to get that box. What I wanted to do when we were working on it that night, when we went to put the box on, I was running out of time. I had a basketball game to go to with my daughters, and I wanted the box sitting on the truck because we were going to leave Fort Louisville that following morning after I got done feeding cows. And we pulled it out one door and backed it in the other, and I never took the time to weigh the stinking chassis. So I apologize for that, but we'll definitely weigh this one. They weigh around 8,000 pounds. Oh, let's see. Isn't that what, Kirsten? Yeah, I think you're right. Duffy, I think, does have a 4230. Have I ever cooked a meal? Not really. I mean, I've cooked once in a while. I'll get into doing breakfast or something, but as far as doing a long, elaborate meal, I've never cooked a meal. Ever thought about a carousel? Yeah, we've thought about a carousel parlor, and we're probably leaning towards something like an 80 cow rotary, but enough of these rotary parlors have been around now, and they're high maintenance. And a parallel parlor, once you get into like past about 18 cows, they're not as efficient because you can't let the one side out until your last milker comes off. But guys are running double 40s too, double 30s and double 40s. They're just making them work. So do you have any other cows that you have that you milk for? No, we don't. Let's see. Let's see. You'd apply for a job if you weren't in Wisconsin. What brand is our parlor? We've got a Bowmatic parlor that was put in 2000. So it's 22 years old, and it was wore out about 8 years ago. Let's see. Do you guys have someone who's in charge of safety? Do we have safety meetings? Let me tell you about safety meetings. We have safety meetings every day. Every time we do a job, I tell the guys how to do it safely. If they choose not to do it the way I tell them to do it, what good is it going to do if we have a safety meeting once a month, once every quarter, once every twice a year? You know, we get an insurance audit every once in a while, once a year. New York State Insurance Fund comes in, they walk through the shop, and, you know, they'll point out a bad lead cord or something, you know, because you're not supposed to repair. You're not supposed to put you're not supposed to replace an end on a lead cord, for example. Usually we get dinged for that. Usually the torch tanks are not separated, you know, because that's going to make a difference. Stuff like that. And then he'll ask, you know, do you have safety meetings? Yes. Are they documented? No, we don't document them. How often do you have them? And I've told them we have them every freaking day. And, you know, I told him, I said, you know what? If I tell this guy here, when he's jacking up that piece of equipment, that he's supposed to put a jack stand under it, and he doesn't put the jack stand under there correctly, or he puts a light, you know, one that's not something that's going to carry the weight, that's his problem. Why should it be my problem? If I have already explained to him what he's supposed to be doing and how he's supposed to be doing it, then why is it my problem if he gets, well, it's going to be my problem because we're going to be dealing with a mess after he's done killed himself. You know what? It's survival of the fittest. Damn it, we need to thin the herd. So, you know, it's just like that. So, as far as safety, our safety advisor, yeah, we're talking safety all the time. We wear the eye protection, we wear the steel toe boots, we just don't wear the safety vests. Not all the time, anyway. Who's going to get their CDL first, Sarah or Alex? Neither one of them are going to be getting it, and I'll tell you why. They made it mandatory here now. I think it's nationwide that you have to go to a training school now to get your license, and they didn't get their permit in time. I think the cutoff was like February 6th or something. And to be honest with you, they don't need it for driving farm trucks. So let's see. Daryl says you look more like Jared every day. Yeah, you look at Andrew's. You look at Jared's pictures when he was Andrew's age, and you can't tell the two of them apart. Go to the training in Cortland on the 16th. What's the what's that picture there?
That's Jared.
Yeah, let's see. This is Jared,
Sarah, and
Alex here, and Sarah. So if you look at Jared, he looks identical to Andrew. So happy birthday, Andy. Can I come work for you? Where are you from, Terry? Still getting a fuel trailer. What brand? We're going to hold off on a field trailer for now. Out at the Louisville Farm Show, there was like, I want to say there was like 6 or 7 of them there that we looked at, and they were all built real nice. The companies you never heard of before, they were cheaper. Oh, take it easy, Andrew. Andrew's leaving. He's got to get ready for school tomorrow. Get my damn brothers in a video. They're not quite ready yet. They know the video's going on, and they kind of, stay away from it. So obvious ahead. Where's the crown? All right. So do I know anybody that hunts? Yeah, a couple of our guys hunt. Jason and Sarge hunt. I think they're the only ones. Yeah, Jason and Sarge and Jaden. He doesn't really work for us anymore, but he did. Just joined. Please say hello to Andrew. Andrew just stepped out there, Kent. He is going to get up and get ready for bed. He's got school tomorrow. Yeah, you're right, George. I could build my own field trailer, and that's probably what we'll do next year. I just have a hard time justifying spending that kind of money, but it would be handy. We're yanking that 300-gallon trailer back and forth every day, and that old trailer is getting tired. I built that trailer in '97. It was a small equipment trailer that we hauled skid steers on, and then we ended up putting that tank on there and built a stand for it, and that's what we've been using along with that 300-gallon water tank. Sean wants to know about the Sterling. We were supposed to get that in this winter, yank the engine out of it, and buy a junkyard engine for it, but we never got around to doing it, and I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. Oh, what's your favorite tractor on the farm? Favorite tractor on the farm is the one I plant corn with. It used to be the 7290, and now it's the 8320R. Tell the girls you said Hayden says hi. Is Tim not one of your brothers? No, Tim's one of the neighbors that works for us. Thunder Creek sure is nice but expensive. You got that right. You got that right for sure. There's actually a guy right over near us that's in Savannah. He's about, I don't know, 40 miles away that sells them, and he had a pretty good proposal that he put together, and I just I didn't bite the trigger on it. So 1,000-gallon propane tank for a field trailer. The guy that did the custom combine for us, the guy that combined the wheat, that's what he had, is a propane tank. And it didn't even have a pump on it. What they did is they charged it with air. And they, I don't know what they would put, maybe 40, 50 pounds of air pressure on it. And then that's what they used to get the fuel out of the tank. So we got Ethan. Ethan with a $99 super chat. He can't wait to pack bunk. That X739's an area kid that has helped us out this fall. And we're going to get him back packing bunk here this summer. And he's really looking forward to packing bunk this year. So I want to thank you for the super chat, Ethan. Why don't these field trailer places give you one? No one will give me anything to use because we're going to use the hell out of it. Any of these other guys that have a fuel trailer, they really don't need one. Their equipment comes home every night and they can fuel their equipment when they pull in the dooryard. We have land scattered all over the place, and there'll be 4 or 5 days at a time. I won't even be home with the chopper, not to mention the corn planter tractor. That might come home once during the season, just passing through. That only make it in the dooryard once. So yeah, used field truck would be a good option too, but you're gonna have a hard time getting around with a old fuel truck. But then again, a trailer that's got 1,000 gallons of fuel on it, you're not taking that too far off the hard packed driveway. What's the furthest we travel? We're traveling 18 miles. So yeah, the Welder caddy has to be removed when you switch bottles. All it does is hang from the top of the cylinder. So you just lift it off, and then you set your new bottle on and set the caddy on the new bottle. We don't really disclose how many acres we farm. Once in a while, I'll put it out there, but it's a tough deal. There's multiple reasons, and I don't really need to I don't have to go into it. Do we use the Harvestor silos? We don't anymore. The one that's next to the road has got a little tiny 4-inch sweep arm. Is it 4? Yeah. Little tiny 4-inch sweep arm auger in it and a 6-inch discharge auger. So that takes, that's a whole about 300 ton, and it takes us 3 days to empty it out. What we would do is we would empty it over into the other silo, and then that unloader works faster, and we grind it on the way out. It got to the point where it just wasn't efficient to use the Harvestors anymore. The big Harvestor, that used to be a haylage unit. That had a Goliath unloader in it. And when we switched over to putting high moisture corn in it, we ended up switching it over to a Leidig unloader. And then we sucked the side in on it. We had a couple of problems with the, you want to say hello?
No.
You don't want to say hello?
No.
Alex just walked out behind the camera.
Yeah.
She's going over to Caleb's house.
Oh,
You don't want to say hello?
no.
You want to say hello. Don't you want to say hello? Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
Hello.
Well, this is Alex. She gets all the camera shyness from her mother. So at any rate, we had issues with the unloader a couple different times. We had to dig that out by hand a couple of times, meaning we had to push a smaller. What?
She's yelling at me.
Oh, your mother's yelling at you?
Yeah.
Kim, do you want to say hello?
No, she definitely.
It would be my birthday wish for you to come down and get in on the live stream. You can hear her in the background. So, yeah, we had some problems with that. So we got another super chat that came in from Ethan, $9.99. let's see, you burned a roll of 045 in a day and a half. Is that right, Garth? I would believe it. We were that, and then yeah. So that that's yeah. Do we have it? No, we don't have any heavy diesel mechanics. Jared's kind of teaching himself as he goes here, and he's gained a lot of knowledge here in a short amount of time. We don't, let's see, snap-on tools. We don't have any snap-on tools to speak of here. The bat blue. Bert, what's going on? You know what? I actually grabbed this from Sarah's refrigerator, believe it or not. Your refrigerator. All right, Alex's refrigerator. I didn't have any beer in the house here. Actually, there was Miller Lite or something over in the shop refrigerator. So I ran all the way over to the shop refrigerator and Jared took them. So they were gone. So I had to come back over here empty-handed before the live stream and ended up finding these cores, which are going down kind of slow. I'm talking too much. Any other big projects? Brad wants to know. We've got we have a big project to do with the upgrades to the corn planter, and no, we didn't get around to putting markers on the 6-row. So that was one of the plans that we were going to try to get into this winter, but the old man's just going to have to run with auto steer. I don't have markers on the 16-row, so he can do without markers on the 6-row. But you know what? If we get into a frickin' war and they shut down our internet, we might not have any GPS when it comes time to plant corn. Changing how we do things with the fuel prices, we really can't do anything any different, you know. Outside of going out on a Sunday drive, maybe that's the only thing I won't be able to do. But you know, that's, I don't know where we're gonna save on fuel compared to what we you know, we weren't being inefficient with anything as it was. Ablelock. What's Ablelock? Want to know? Somebody. Ablelock. Do you use any of the milk from the cows you have for your person? No, we don't. We don't take any milk out of the tank. Excuse me. Years ago, we used to dip milk right out of the bulk tank in the cow barn here. We had an 800-gallon universal tank, and we filled it every day. So, by the end of night milking, the tank was about half full, just shy of half full, and you could just get down in there and reach it with a milk pail. And then obviously in the morning it was full, but the milk tanks we have now, they're so much bigger. You're not going to be able to dip out of the top. You have to open up the bottom of the tank in order to get the milk out. Well, the bung on the bottom of the tank is about this far off the floor, so you're not filling a milk pail up full. And to be honest with you, you're not allowed, really, we aren't allowed to touch the bottom of that tank for sanitary reasons. And justifiably so. You know, the milk company doesn't want any tampering going on with the tank. And guys have tried taking milk out of their tanks before, and the end comes off the tank and they can't get it back on. They have, certain guys have lost a tank of milk. David Bealey wants us to do no-till, no-till, no-till. We do no-till, we will have no crop. We have to do tillage. We have to do some form of tillage. We can't just go in and drag the planter through the ground that has not had something done to it. We travel across the ground too much with manure and we deal with compaction issues. Not only are we dealing with compaction issues, but we have tracks that we need to have fixed with some kind of a tillage tool. So anyone should be, well, did anybody actually vote for our buddy Brandon? I don't know if they have actually done that. How many gallons of diesel fuel you go through a year? If I remember off the top of my head, we're going through about 150,000 gallons of on-road and off-road diesel. We are allowed to run off-road diesel fuel in our trucks that are trucking crop from the field to the farm or the farm to the field. The tricky part there is if we are going to use any one of them trucks, to say we want to go to Home Depot and get a couple of 16-foot 2x4s, we have to plan ahead of time to make sure that that truck doesn't have any red diesel fuel in it. So we have to be really careful what we do, and if it comes to that, we'll just take a trailer, and a pickup truck. But we have to be careful with what we do. But 99% of the time, once we're using the truck to haul crop from the farm to the field or the field to the farm, it stays on that job anyways. A lot of spam going on, is there? That's what happens when you don't have a moderator. I should have 8 or 10 moderators in here, and they could be shutting these guys out. I think I got another super chat from Ethan. Ethan, did you put up another one? They never check anyways. Well, the one time we let our guard down, they're gonna yeah, so you walked over in the cab, seen all them boxes, huh? Too many cheese. Stephen Kennedy says he'll do the moderators. Moderating. Make me a mod. I don't need any moderators. I had moderators way back in the day, and they got fighting like little girls, and it turned into more of a problem between the moderators than it did between the guys talking smack. And I'll let anybody talk any smack they want. I could care less, So I don't know. If somebody wants to type in some vulgar language, yeah, go ahead. I don't care. How many hours do I sleep? About 5 hours a night. Yeah, I know, Adam. It was kind of ridiculous. There was let's see, Welker's in the house. Is that right? I missed them. Welker Farms. How's it going? I don't know if I'm talking to Nick or Scott, but how are you doing, bud? Yeah, we're gaining on 100,000 slowly but surely. It seems to be coming ever so slowly anymore, but we're gaining, I think. We're getting there. Do you think bed and sand is worth it? Seems like it's hard on equipment. The bed and cows with sand is hands down better than anything else that we could bed the cows with. We don't have any lame hocks. We don't have any bad legs. The cow's feet are great. They look great. They're clean. As far as what it does to the equipment, that is the that's just what you have to deal with. And we've learned to do a few things different, and it works for us. Worst winter storm, March '93. I'm hoping we don't see a storm like we had in '93. I was talking to my uncle this morning at breakfast. We're like, we might get 4 to 8 inches of snow this Saturday, and we have had a real light winter. We really only had to plow snow twice this year, and we're approaching the middle of March, but we have gotten storms well after the middle of March. We've gotten some heavy wet snow in April before, and that's no fun either. I'd rather get the heavy snow in January. But yeah, we had a storm in 93. I think it was the 13th or the 15th. We had a 4430 tractor that we mixed feed with, excuse me, and plowed snow with. And that year we had corn silage in bunks, and we could not get to the corn silage bunk. There was an 8 foot of snow that had blown in, and we could not get to the bunk. We missed one whole feeding that day, feeding corn silage, and we would have to have 20 foot of snow to not be able to get to the bunk now, and we would just get it done. Let's see, Larson Farms seller, and you're on the best, hands down. I don't know what farmer 2708's getting at. Michigan, it's right. 4 inches of snow overnight. Brad Corbett. Yeah, hit the like button. We gotta make sure we hit the old get up there with the old algorithm stuff, So let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Andy, is worth going for a dairy and crop degree, or is it just better to get a job on a dairy farm? Well, that's kind of a decision that you got to make for yourself there, Nick. It's not everyone can learn hands-on, and school is good at the same time. So look at your equipment. Yeah, that's true, Mike. The equipment we have now wouldn't have a problem with the snow. Yeah, that's true, Brian. The lack of snow is hard on alfalfa. But we did have a fair amount covering the alfalfa. We just didn't have a heavy amount. But heavy snow will that'll smother the. That'll smother the alfalfa too. So, what's my favorite job on the farm? I don't know. I like planting. I like running the chopper. And then, of course, I like working in the shop too. So, doing the welding projects is pretty fun. Tug Hill Plateau. What's going on up Tug Hill Plateau, Brian? It must be like mud up there, isn't it? Let's see. Farmer says, me and Larson and Welker are the best. Well, I've been watching Welkers for a long time. They do a good job. Yeah, Hayden Miller. It was Mealis or something like that from South Dakota. I emailed them, and I don't know if they got the email yet or not. So. But it could be somebody that took a knockoff of that and they're making them too. So we'll do some live plant comments. Yeah, I don't have the 360 degree camera anymore. I actually sold that. It was kind of gimmicky, really, and I used it that first year, and then that was it. So. Yeah, let's see here. Daryl's in the cheap seats. Yeah, Nick, I never figured out how really to edit the footage from the 360 camera, but all I used it for is I was doing live streams from it, from the chopper, and you would be more adverse to the terminology of the damn thing, but it was like the gyro or something like that would get out of whack, and it would start, moving on its own. Not only was everybody able to move the view themselves, but it just it got to be a mess there after a while. It took quite a bit to set up on the go with trying to get things calibrated and whatever. It was I don't even remember the name of the damn thing, but it was a pretty good one at the time. It was just, yeah, it was too gimmicky. I never did figure out how to edit the actual footage from it. They are handy to use if you can figure out how to do it. Like you could set it up in the shop, for example, and you wouldn't even have to have it on your subject. You could edit that later on, but then that could turn into a problem too. So let's see. Nick's talking about the cleaner he made. They're still doing some adjustments. That's going to take some time to get that dialed in. That's quite a piece of art there that you have, Nick, that you and your brother and your father made. If you guys don't watch Welker Farms, or if you guys haven't seen Welker Farms, they made a grain cleaner, a seed cleaner, and it's quite an elaborate thing that they made. Ethan wants to know if he can come along for planting time. I don't know, Ethan. Maybe we'll get you picking stone. We do need a crew to pick by hand, you know. Yeah, there's another spammer. So, webcam of hot girls in the chat. Yeah, I imagine there's really some hot girls in there. But happy birthday. I thought you were older, like 55 to 60. Is that right? I tell you what, I don't feel a day older than 25. Ethan wants to come and pick stones. Kick the scammer out. Yeah, they're just bots that are coming in anyway, so probably heifers. Back when I picked stone, we picked by hand. And my wife and I, when we were dating, ended up going down into Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and I was watching these guys pick. They're picking with pitchforks. I said, well, that's a lot easier. You haven't got to bend over. So we started picking with pitchforks. 3-time pitchforks. Worked great. Oh, yeah, grain farmer. It's my birthday. 50 years old today. Mountains blue. I don't know. How's that supposed to work? This is a warm beer now. There's only about this much in here, and I don't see any blue mountains. That's because it's probably room temperature by now. So rock picking is a great weight loss program. Yeah, that's for sure. So now we pick with a tine bucket on a skid steer, and that works about the best. So, well, folks, we've been in almost an hour, almost 2 hours here, an hour and a half, 103 minutes. So we're gonna cut this live stream. I've gotta get to bed here. It's almost 9 o'clock, and I want to thank everybody for joining in on the live stream here tonight. And I've had quite a few super chats come at us. We've had quite a few of you in here. We had Nick and One Lonely Farmer a little while ago. I think the Farming Life was in here. I don't know if I missed anybody else that puts the old videos up on YouTube here, but I do want to thank each and every one of you for stopping in to say hello. It's been a while since we've done a live stream here. The last one I did, I tried doing from the seat of the pickup driving around on a Sunday here back in January, and I don't know if I had run out of data or not on my iPad, but that didn't work, and that ended up flopping. So take it easy, folks. We'll catch you at the next one. We'll have a video out here. I've been doing them every other day. So what is today? Wednesday. We'll have a video coming at you Friday here. So take it easy, folks. Thanks for watching, or thanks for stopping in, and we'll catch you at the next one.